this is the time of year when people are thinking about change. They're planning for the next year. They're planning on the things that they're going to do. And for us, it's always a heavy, time when people are putting their homes on the market, right after the new year. So, I wanted to focus today's show a little bit on some things that you can do, if you are preparing to change real estate agents, or if your home is coming off the market now or in the future, some steps you can take to better position your home in the marketplace, to have it pop a little bit better, to have a better chance at selling. The very first thing that I think that we look at when we put a home on the market that's been on the market with someone else. So this is a home that's either been listed with another broker or maybe for sale by owner. The very first thing we look at is where is it marketed? Because a lot of people assume that real estate agents all do the same thing. We all put it in the MLS.
No, the big difference.
Yeah, that's a myth. The MLS just isn't the same as it used to be. The data is everywhere. It's not some. There's nothing. There's nothing as special about it as it used to be. And it's not just about where you put it, but it's how you put it on. Certain websites. For example, we pay for the enhanced version of Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, all the major portals, which means our listings get featured, we get more photos, we get to put a video on there. Most real estate agents don't pay for that. So when you go look at a website like a Zillow, a Trulia, or Realtor.com, if your real estate agent doesn't pay for the enhanced version of those websites, when people go to inquire about the property, they're inquiring with other real estate agents. In other words, and again, I could spend a whole show talking about the National Association of Realtors and whether or not they should have done this, but the reality is they made deals with some of these big listing aggregators that when people would inquire about homes, the leads themselves wouldn't go to the listing broker. A lot of consumers don't understand that. They go on to Zillow and they contact the agent that's listed there, and they believe, even though it's disclosed somewhere in the fine print on the website that that's not the listing broker, but they believe or assume that that's the listing broker, when in reality it's not. So the majority of the website traffic out there for real estate is on those websites. So the consumer just naturally, over the course of history of time, thinks that they're going onto that website and they're requesting information from the listing broker, and it's not always the case. The listing brokerage has to pay for those enhancements and that opportunity to get the leads off of their own listings, and a lot of them don't pay for it. So that's strike number one. If you're going to put a home for sale and people are going to ask questions about it, you want the broker that's representing the sale that knows the most about the home, that has the disclosures, that knows the information, to be answering the questions. So, I think that's step number one. If you didn't get that with your last agent, then you certainly want to make sure that your new agent has that set up so that you control the inquiries on your home. It's like, walking into a car dealership and looking for a Maserati at a BMW dealership, and the BMW sales guy doesn't know anything about Maserati, and that's the analogy I make, because that's what happens a lot of the time, and consumers don't realize it. The consumer gets duped in the deal, and they think that they're asking questions from somebody that's super knowledgeable about the house. So the reality is that's first step number one, making sure where it's advertised and how it's advertised. We put videos on YouTube, we do social media, we obviously do everything a traditional agent does, but on steroids is how we like to think about it. So
I got to tell you that in the insurance business, we're always super busy in December. So if you're going through this time of year and your house isn't selling and you're going to be changing brokers, you need to ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Your house should be selling this time of year. It's surprisingly a very busy time.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that December is one of the best closing months of the year. I mean, I talked about the stats a couple of weeks ago, and historically how good December is for a closing month. So you're right. You need to think about that. So another reason why a home hasn't sold, the photos. I can't tell you how often we get homes who are listed with other brokers, and we look at them, and the very first thing we notice is poor quality photos. The lack of a professional photographer being hired, cell phone photos. It's a clear sign.
I like the ones that are taken out the window of your car.
Yeah, where you can see the mirror.
And you can see the mirror of the car.
Yeah. I mean, it's just laziness.
I mean, you didn't even take the time to
get out, walk around.
Exactly.
So the photos are an important thing, and not just the photos, but the quality of them, the lighting. We do 3D tours. We also shoot video of every home. We have drones, so we'll take aerial photos when they're relevant. So all those types of tools are things that matter. It shows, it's kind of like, the way I describe it is, if you've ever sold a car, a really nice car, you have nice quality photos taken. You don't take like photos
Sure.
with a Polaroid and scan them onto your computer. I mean, you use a nice high quality, and we do the same thing. You can take it to another level with the quality of the photography and the videos and the right angles, and so where it's marketed, how it's marketed. Obviously, you have to look at price. You know, we've seen homes underpriced, we've seen homes overpriced, and we've seen homes priced right. You know, there's many times where we've put a home on the market at the same price as a prior broker and sell it fast, you know, because of marketing. And there's other times where you look at it and realize that they didn't get proper pricing advice, and the home is over or underpriced for the market, and you have to make adjustments there. And sometimes the adjustments are very slight. For example, somebody who has their home priced at $252,000. What they don't realize is that every consumer out there, the thousands and thousands of consumers are looking up to 250, never see their home. You know, they set the search parameter at 250, or, you know, same thing, another one that messes people up a lot is the 149.9 instead of 150. The one struggle with 149.9, a lot of people think, oh, psychologically that works better. Well, yeah, it's great if you're buying gas. But you're not buying gas, you're buying a house. And if you're at 149.9, every consumer that's looking up to 150,000, they're scrolling through a couple pages of listings of 150,000 home prices at 150,000 before they see yours at 149.9. So there's a lot of strategy with the internet of how to price a home to get more eyes on it. And those are techniques and things that, again, if your agent didn't do, those are things that we're going to look at to do a little bit differently. And I think, you know, the last part of it is, you know, so in addition to how it's marketed and what it looks like online and where it's marketed and how it's priced, you know, a completely different overall strategy about what you accentuate as well. You know, we'll have consumers that will come in and say, well, here's why I bought the house, but in reality, the likelihood is maybe that feature isn't as marketable as something else. Or they'll say, or the house is on a busy street, but it's got this great piece of property. You know, you've got to find a way to accentuate those positives and maybe focus on other things that a consumer might want about home that maybe isn't noticed as well. You know, I had a great story in the past about, you know, selling homes close to where professional athletes or celebrities live. Again, depending on each specific situation, use what you can, use what you have available to you. You know, talking about the local schools, talking about things that are in close proximity to the home, are all, you know, really important things. And then I think the strategy of what happens when the customer or agent says, I want to see the home. I cannot tell you how often we find out people where the seller is at the showings, following people around, you know.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's not good.
Yeah, like following them to pointing stuff out. People don't buy homes on fact. They don't walk around the house and fall in love with facts. They fall in love with the house.
Emotion.
Yeah, they buy on emotion. They're not buying on facts. So the seller says, oh, I want to walk through the house and show them about this and that. That's great. That can happen, but it needs to happen on a second showing or a third showing where they've fallen in love already. It's kind of like going on your date with your wife and falling in love for the first time because all she spieled was her resume the whole date. No, it doesn't. You know, you're not going to fall in love with it. You want to learn that. Those are important things, but it doesn't happen on a first date.
Right.
Those happen later on. So buying a house, you know, is similar. So we're going to be back after a quick break. We're going to continue our conversation with Richard Vasquez at Artisan Insurance Group. I'm Andrew Duncan, and we'll be back on 970 WFLA.